You may be seated.
Hello, Your Honor.
Hello.
This is a case of Knox versus Bailey.
Thank you, Jerome. Good day, everyone. Good day. Ms. Knox, you are seeking a DNA test to prove to your ex-boyfriend, Mr. Bailey, that he is the father of your 1-year-old son, Cash. You claim the only reason he's denying your son is because of his meddling mother. Not only do you want to establish paternity, you are also suing for child-rearing expenses in the sum of $3,480. Is that correct? Ms. Bailey, you claim your son is a famous dancer and is about to hit it big. Both of you claim Ms. Knox is pinning a baby on your son because she is after his fame and future fortune.
Yes, Your Honor.
So, Ms. Knox, what has Mr. Bailey done for Cash since he's been born?
Your Honor, for the past year that I've had my child, I had to struggle to take care of him alone. I paid for everything.
That's because you wanted to, little girl.
That's because
no, ma'am.
No, I paid for everything because he quit his job, and in June of 2014, I asked him, when will he start to pay for something, and he said he will.
I always had
July 13, 2014, when it came, he didn't have anything in the hospital with nothing. I paid for everything.
Because you wanted to.
I paid for everything. You didn't have a job, so how were you going to pay for it?
Because you wanted.
Okay, hold on.
You didn't have a job.
He got a
Hold on, let's
You
get
didn't have a job.
some order. Let's get some order.
You didn't. You don't have any money, so.
You don't know what I got.
Let's get some order.
I got a whole lot. I got more than you.
No, you don't.
You gotta listen to the judge, ma'am.
Let's get some order.
I'm sorry.
I'm
sorry, Your Honor.
Do you have receipts?
Yes, I do have
That
receipts
will substantiate-
of all the stuff that I had bought for my child.
Jerome, may I see those, please?
I had to buy wipes, car seats, strollers. I had to buy everything. I haven't seen anything from it, Mr. Bailey.
So these are receipts for
A car seat,
walker,
a stroller.
car seat, swing, baby expenses. They total $6,960.
Yes, ma'am.
Half of which is $3,480, which you say he would be responsible for.
Yes.
To help raise the child that you claim is, in fact, his biological
Yes,
child.
Ma'am, as soon as my potential child was born, I paid to get his circumcision. I paid for that. That was $200 out of pocket.
Why, if he's not your child?
No question. No question.
If you didn't think he was yours, why pay for it?
The same reason why I bought everything else.
You ain't do nothing for your own son, so I don't even know why you
reason
care. You didn't take care of him, so why are you worried about my child?
All right.
She don't know.
You
She don't know.
didn't. You didn't take care of him.
She don't know. She don't know. Ma'am.
Let's get some order. Listen, I'm not going to entertain this. The next time I have to hit this gavel, I'm just going to dismiss the case and we won't have any answers today. Mr. Bailey, you knew this was your potential child, but you did not know for certain.
Correct.
That's why you say potential.
Correct.
After the child was born, did you stay involved?
You know, I really didn't get a chance to. She took off to Texas.
Ms. Knox, you left the
2
state.
days.
Yes, ma'am. I left to go to Texas because I needed help to raise my child. I couldn't go to your mother because your mother didn't even raise you.
Why do you think she left?
Only she knows the real reason why she left.
So when she left,
I have
Instagram.
evidence.
I'd like to see that evidence.
This
What is this evidence, sir?
I have evidence showing that you only got those things to stack up because I said I was going to put you on child support. That's the only reason why you got it.
No, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. I have it too.
Let's get some order. Mr. Bailey, you say this is evidence of what?
That's me. That's just like some of the stuff I had around the house. You know, that I purchased for cash.
Yeah,
some of the
that
stuff he
you
wore.
purchased.
Some of it he wore. Some of it's brand new. Still in. You know, still have tags on it.
I
and
have
everything.
evidence showing that he only did
the
that
walker, I have the
because I said
receipts.
I was putting him on child support. I have evidence.
Let me
of
see
that
your
as
evidence.
well.
I have the walkers.
I never seen the clothes, but besides on holidays,
and
we
this
gotta
is
take care.
evidence you've submitted. It is a tweet
That Mr.
he
Elwood-
says, I wonder how many more receipts I'ma need before I go to court.
Right.
What? What kind of tweet is this, Mr. Bailey?
It's a joke because who does that? Like, what type of fun? I have two kids.
You wrote
I have
it.
2 kids.
No, did you
I
tweet
have 2
this?
kids. Yes, ma'am. I have 2 kids.
What is it about?
I mean, it's me making a joke. Like, I have 2 kids. Like, who does that? Who keeps receipts? I don't keep receipts on my children. Like, I don't, you know what I'm saying?
So
I'm
what,
not
you're
the type
being
of father. I never
sarcastic
had-
in this
right,
tweet?
Right.
Your Honor,
Look, I never had to do that.
Mr. Bailey, I want to understand your doubt because you say you're at the hospital. You went through the pregnancy with her.
Yes, ma'am.
You signed the birth certificate.
Yes, ma'am.
So when did you start doubting?
When his mother started talking, Your Honor?
I started doubting when I started seeing her actions. Like, who does that? Around the time I had first went Ghana, right? I'm not no phone checking type person. That's not my style, okay? But I just so happened to go through her phone. She was texting me and this little dude around the same time, telling us it was like the same conversations, right? Like minutes apart, not even, like minutes apart. So the last text message said, I'm gonna come give you a hug and a kiss, right? From the other guy. And my text message said, I'm on my way to come get you. So it's pretty much whoever got there first. If he would have got there first, if she was already pregnant, that probably would have been his baby. She probably would have been saying it's his baby.
Wait a minute, what?
I don't know.
Like, she probably would have been at his house.
Wait.
One more time,
Stop.
Anna.
I need you to start that again, because I'm not understanding this doubt.
Okay.
You're saying from a text message you saw?
Before I got pregnant, he said, Your Honor.
Before she was pregnant?
Yeah.
You saw a text message in her phone?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, ma'am.
That's correct.
Several.
Several.
That's not
so
one.
it was your text message to her followed by another man.
Yes, ma'am.
And that other man's text had
Our time intervals was like right there.
And
right
it seemed like there was something intimate going on with the other guy.
I mean, it was clear as day. It was just like.
Well, why you stood there then?
So what you're saying is that said to you in your mind, she's having sex with both of us. If you want more episodes of Paternity Court, make sure to subscribe and click on the notification bell.
I think she was pregnant when she met my son. And the reason why I say that, because every time somebody went over there, she was under the cover. It's a shotgun house. It was my house. I left it to him. So when you walk in, you're in the living room, in the room. The proper thing to do, little girl, is get up and acknowledge your guest who's ever.
Don't acknowledge you.
He wasn't even there.
I don't even like
you. So hold on, Miss Bailey.
I don't care if he don't like
you. Don't even
Miss Bailey, talk to me. Because I want to understand what you're saying.
Was,
you said you believe she was already pregnant
when she met my son. And the reason why I say that is because you own the social media, okay? So obviously you done saw what he was doing for his other kids and maybe even what's going on for...
Yana, he does not have a career. I don't know what career you're talking about, but he does not. He was nothing when I met him, and he's nothing now.
And like you,
it was your house.
Calm down. Miss Bailey, explain to me why you believe she was pregnant before she even met your son.
Because when we actually did have a conversation, she's gonna say, oh, well, I'm 3 months pregnant.
Lies. Yeah.
And I'm like, 3 months pregnant, and that was in November.
This is your evidence here? Please step over to the exhibit and show me.
3 months. It was November. She told me she was 3.5 months pregnant. She met my son in October. Either way, whether it was November or December, it don't matter, little girl. It don't add up. So at this point, I'm looking at her. Now, mind you, she never one time got out of the bed every time we go over there. She's always covered up. So when I see her, she's like maybe in between here.
So you're saying she looked like she was 5 or 6 months pregnant
when I physically saw her, when she told me she was 3 months.
Okay.
Me even meeting her, I had
you
my
can
doubts.
step back over to the podium.
When he came and, he was trying to get me to talk to the little girl, I said, I don't think so. It's just something about her that I don't like. From day one, I kept telling him.
That's what I said, Yana.
I don't...
Your Honor,
because he's about to really make it big as a dancer.
Right.
He's about to be famous.
He did take a few trips to Hollywood.
He came back with nothing.
You don't know what he came back with. Because you didn't get nothing. Because you didn't get nothing from.
He came back a week later. So if you go to Hollywood to make
come back
out of your life,
later, Your Honor.
You are not going to come back a week later to do this? What is that?
Your Honor.
That's not no career.
He did not come back a week later. And even if he don't make it.
That's not money because he's shaking his shoulder.
Hold on, baby.
That's not a career, baby. Come with something else.
Have you ever requested a DNA test?
3 times. I asked her 3 times, and we haven't seen Cash ever since I brought that up. And then every time we want to see Cash, Edward has to give her something. Oh, well, if you give me a case of diapers, you can see Cash.
Okay.
Yeah, I still don't receive this stuff. The reason why I don't give them to him, because first off, their house is not even properly, it's not even a house. It's dirty, it's filthy, it's
You're a lie.
You didn't, I still don't trust my child with you because you didn't raise your own child, so I have a problem with it.
You are a liar,
if you didn't raise
girl.
your own kids, why would I just freely give my child to you?
But you understand that if he's in fact the biological father of this child, he has a legal right to see the child.
He does, but if you're not doing nothing for him, there's no reason for you to come get him.
Hold on.
If you're not taking care of my child, what is your reasons for coming to get him?
Well, listen, but this is a good legal lesson for you, just so you know, Ms. Knox, because if he's not the biological father and somebody else is, it doesn't matter. The legal right to see your child is separate from your legal responsibility to take care of them. Okay. Meaning, a man can be behind in his support. That happens, it does, but that does not in any way affect, cut off his right to see the child, because ultimately it's about the child's best interest. I'm trying to understand, Mr. Bailey has gone through this entire process, signed a birth certificate, he's seen some text messages that he maybe says he feels like you might have been with somebody else, but I just have not gotten to this doubt. I want to understand what this doubt is. Now, Mom, I heard you. I get your doubt. And Mr. Bailey, I want to understand yours fully.
I mean, she goes as far as to dealing with my friends, like a couple of my apart. I don't know if she think I don't know about it or not, but they always tell me, they always come back and tell me, son, your baby mama tore up. She trying to talk to me like she, you know what I'm saying, like all the time. Like, you know, I know how dudes is.
Never heard of Iyanna. That's something new.
Wait, she tore up? What do you mean?
Like,
she messed up.
A thought.
You know.
Out here.
A thought is basically
jumping around. Like, first of all, she constantly threatens me. I'm gonna put you on child support, I'm gonna put you on child support. Then double back a couple days later, I'll never do that to you. I'll never do that to you. I'll never put you on child support. I'm like, all right. Then she even tweets like how good of a father like she's happy that I've been there, and that I've been taking care of my son and so on and so forth. But I received a letter saying that she must have went down there and filed and took me out child support. Why would you do that? The only reason.
So you're saying you got a letter in the mail that says that you were going to be taken off child support?
No, that my case would no longer be pursued. I didn't even know.
So when you got that letter,
the only way they would close your case is if she went down there and claimed somebody else is the father and she put somebody else on child support, or she just went down there. Like, why would you do that? Why would you take me out if, like, I don't understand.
So, well, Ms. Knox, I mean, if you had a case pending against him, and then they said they were no longer going to pursue that case, did you go down and say
no, Yana, I filed for it at first. And then I really didn't want to do it because I feel like you grown. I shouldn't have to go through child support in order for you to take care of a child that you helped me make. So I did it, and then I just ain't respond to the case the most. So that's how the case got closed. I didn't go down there and say close the case. I just didn't respond to it at all. But I recently did it. I did it because I did not want to have to go through that process. I do not want to have to sit around and wait on no check that you do not have.
So
you don't even have no money to give me.
Okay, so
you don't even have a job. So I'm not trying to go through no child support. I'm not trying to make you go through it.
I got several.
That's why I did not go through with it the first time. But once I realized that the years just going by and you really not going to help me take care of my child, now you're back on child support. Now the process is going to start. It's going to continue.
It don't go like that, dummy. Once you
How? If you're about to receive your papers, I just came from court.
So
What
Ms. Knox,
what papers?
You're going to receive one in the mail.
Ms. Knox,
we're gonna-
all right. With that said, I think it's time for the results. Thank you, Jerome. These results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics, and they read as follows. Do you want to watch Paternity Court on TV? Go to paternitycourt.tv to find your local listings. In the case of Knox versus Bailey, pertaining to 1-year-old Cash Bailey, it has been determined by this court, Mr. Bailey, you are Cash's father.
That's fine. You're still a tramp.
You seem emotionless. How does it feel?
That's my son. I'm gonna move forward with what I gotta do as a father, and I'm not gonna let her bring me down. I'm gonna just keep doing what I'm doing because I know the truth.
You both are gonna have to figure out how to parent this child. Now, as it relates to your suit, Ms. Knox, you came in saying that you had spent $6,960 by yourself caring for this child.
Yes, yeah.
However, Mr. Bailey's testified and you've acknowledged he did pay $200 for the circumcision as it relates to baby Cash. He's going to get credit for that. That brings the total expenses for you alone to $6,760, half of which would be $3,380.
Okay.
My judgment is for $3,380 for you, the plaintiff, because in fact, Mr. Bailey is Cash's biological father. And Mr. Bailey, you have a legal responsibility to help care for that child. Let me give you a news flash before we go. As you begin to take care of this child, keep receipts for everything you buy. Have that there. If in fact she proceeds with the child support case, you'll be responsible for that as well. But if there's ever any issue about what you buy, you're going to be allowed. If you buy clothes for your child and you want to keep those clothes at your house, you are completely, that's fine if you want to do that.
Yes,
but keep proof of what you are doing for the child. If this comes up, you will need it if you have to deal with this issue again. I wish you all the best of luck. We have counseling resources for you. Take advantage of them. Figure out how to co-parent with this child. And Ms. Bailey, your grandmother now, the two women here, I don't know what you all think is gonna come of this interaction that you all have, but the only person that's gonna suffer is this baby.
Oh no.
Because nobody wants to see their mother. No, everybody's done talking except me. Everybody's done talking. The only person that's gonna suffer if their mother and their grandmother don't get along is the child. So let's get that in check quickly so he doesn't have to sit through what I just sat through. With that said, court is adjourned.